What's going on, Master Duel fans? James here again. It's almost the end of the season, so I figured it's that time to call it the end of the season, the current season of season 49, and we are actually going to stay in Plat 3 because, even though Allure Queens the majority of the time just helped out, Nephthys as an actual deck overperformed so much. So to circumvent this, I figured why not mix the two and see how convoluted the deck can do, and turns out it performs way too well. So deck profile for you guys. The Allure Queen package, 3 level 3, 1 level 5, 1 level 7, 3 Chaos Queens, 2 Allure Palace, and 3 Allure Dance. Now, 2 Palace to be specific, because there are lines where if for whatever the reason your first copy gets Ghost Ogred, you always got a second copy to back yourself up with it. And then a lot of people tend to either Ash, Purge, or Impulse the Palace, knowing full well that this can do thrice per turn in terms of the discard, as in 3 times in the same turn, which is basically by the time you use up so much hand traps, you basically wasted like 3 to 4 cards in terms of clearing out your Allure Queen lines. And then at the same time, we can always get the additional counters off from the Celine play if having more palaces all cleared out. So same goes for the Soul Charge off from Dance and or Heavy Storm off from the OG Sacred Phoenix. So the Nephthys package. 2 Disciple, not 3, because even though she's the Stratos in terms of Nephthys, I honestly do not want to overdraw the card when I want to see different names. So 2 Disciple, Matriarch, Chronicler, Defender. Now, these girls, the Nephthys girls to be specific, they do have on-field effects, and they do indeed have destruction effects. Depends on which Nephthys girl got destroyed. So, on-field effects. During the main phase, you can destroy 1 card in your hand, and if you do, Disciple lets you add 1 Nephthys monster from deck to hand that isn't Disciple herself. Matriarch is your reborn of level 4 or lower Nephthys that isn't herself. Chronicler lets you get any Nephthys card from grave to hand that isn't Chronicler herself. And Defender lets you special 1 level 4 or lower Nephthys monster from your hand that isn't Defender. So basically, Defender and Matriarch are your extenders, Disciple is your search, and Chronicler is your recursion. Now, the Nephthys girls, they all share the same thing, same with the bird, which is during your next standby phase, after these cards are destroyed, to be specific, for which, by the way, the OG Sacred Phoenix gets involved in this profile. So, Nephthys girls, standby phase, destruction effects. Disciple lets you add 1 spell trap, Nephthys spell trap from deck to hand. Matriarch reborns herself. Defender lets you destroy 1 Nephthys monster in your deck that isn't Defender. And Chronicler lets you does not target, get any Nephthys card from grave to hand that isn't Chronicler herself. And then the OG Sacred Phoenix, he is your reborn and Heavy Storm, which is beyond amazing. And then more Nephthys cards in terms of the rituals. 2 Devotee, Conductor, Cerulean Sacred Phoenix and Nephthys, 2 Rebirth, along with the 3 Pre-Preparation. I'm going to be honest, I'm actually glad that in TCG land, they did not hit this card. Like, even though obviously it's a hard once per turn though, But who knew that searching 2 off from just 1 card is beyond crucial. Last Hope and Awakening of Nephthys. So, as for the rituals, the Nephthys ritual girls, aside from the ritual summoning shtick of Rebirth of Nephthys, same with the Cerulean Sacred Phoenix. So, for Conductor, if this card is ritual summoned, she lets you e-telly one Nephthys ritual from your deck, or even special one from the hand, that isn't Conductor. This is treated as a ritual summon, which is amazing. And then, if this card is shibited or killed by a Nephthys card effect, you can activate this. During the next standby phase, kill up to 3 Nephthys cards that isn't rituals, 1 each from hand, deck, and field. So basically, the more main deck Nephthys cards destroyed, the better. And it's a basic way of saying opponent has to get my life points down to 0. Otherwise, if for some reason I'm still alive and once the turn comes up, we are going to go Mega Gather on the advantage on the main deck Nephthys. To Devotee. So when it comes to Devotee being ritual summoned, you can activate this. Special 1 Nephthys monster from your deck, so e-telly. And if you don't do anything with Devotee to be specific, during the end phase of this turn, kill this card. And then, if this card is in your graveyard, you can destroy 1 Nephthys card in your hand, and if you do, special this card. Spell/trap on the destruction, by the way, which is amazing. So that way, if for whatever the reason, you either A, have more main deck Nephthys destruction effects, or B, if you dead drew the Nephthys ritual or spells without legal targets, you could just outright fix that to have Devotee as an extra extender, assuming that if Devotee was ritual summoned properly. And then Cerulean Sacred Phoenix card can be crucial in terms of working with the ritual version of the bird. So during your main phase, you can destroy Nephthys cards, spell/trap included, in your hand and or face-up field, then destroy an equal number of monsters your opponent controls, non-targeting, by the way. During your next standby phase, after this card was killed by battle card effect and sent to the graveyard, free Reborn itself. To Rebirth, aside from the ritual summoning shtick, but the twist is, if you tributed Devotee or Cerulean Sacred Phoenix, you can does not target kill 1 card anywhere on the field. Last Hope, this is your Scrap Dragon of Nephthys, hard once on activation. And then Awakening of Nephthys, this is your 300 boost to all Nephthys monsters you control. And if for whatever the reason, this face-up card in the spell trap zone gets killed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, this lets you special 1 Nephthys monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, but kill it during the end phase. Most of the times, you rather work with the leftover names in terms of Nephthys that you never used, just to keep it flat out consistent. And then for the rest of the honorary cards, Wizard Buster, that is for your Allure Queen lines. And this card is super clutch versus Dracotail, because who knew that if Abyss Dweller was flat out banned, why not we bring something back that's similar to Abyss Dweller? So it's great against Dracotail, no questions asked, because there was a game in which Dracotail player went 3 Dracotail for Arthalion, and yet my opponent doesn't oversee the Wizard Buster being equipped. So as a result, 3 of his Dracotails couldn't get their effects off because opponent had no idea I had the equipped Wizard Buster all this time, and that's major advantage. Marianne, the True Draco Phoenix, this card comes up absolute nuts because being able to destroy in any combination of cards, including at least one win, being your Nephthys, and it makes it so that your main deck versions are able to get your graveyard effects as of your next standby, which is insane. But to be specific about Marianne, being able to destroy 2 wins to banish the top 4 of your opponent's deck is beyond nasty. And because you banish the top 4, it's basically information on what your opponent plays, and now I get to set up the board accordingly based off from the deck that you're playing, or from Marianne's banished top 4 effect. And then if for whatever the reason she gets killed by a card effect, for which, by the way, I should have added this one Fire True King, but the idea with her is you can search a non-win worm from deck to hand. So if that's the only change I'm going to make out of this, it's either add the True King Agnemaza, the Fire True King, and it makes it so that you are still able to work with your birds in terms of destruction, being the OG Sacred Phoenix to be specific. And then the rest, non-engine, so talent, thrust, and as I already mentioned about pre-prep, all from the Nephthys ritual, 3 of them, 2 Chalice, Blizzard, and 3 Imperms. Extra deck, I will literally say this right now, the whole entire extra deck comes up and you literally cannot change anything and everything out of it. Chaos Angel, Daigusto Phoenix, Artemis, Great Fly, Nephthys Sacred Preserver, just 1, not 2 or 3, because Chronicler cannot recur the link back to the extra deck. Same goes for the Sacred Flame, if for whatever the reason it gets outed and sent to the graveyard, but Chronicler can recur the link 3, which is amazing. Win, Lina Dark, Alt RIP, Selene, 2 golden Allure Queens, Avramax, Underworld Goddess. And with that being said, it's time for some replays to showcase. And with his hand going second, this should be fine. So opponent set 1 and pass. Dance for Palace. Palace it up. Send 1. Imperm. There's the Ash. Simplified game state. OG Sacred Phoenix killed off, so that's Heavy Storm. And then Queen 7 hooking up to... Mutants. First time ever coming across this deck, by the way. So let's see what's up with Mutants. For Mutants, you have the 2 fusions along with 7 main deck monsters, 3 traps, 3 spells. So we are going to start off with the Water Psychic Mutants. Mutant. Level 1, no stats. If you control a mutant card, free special from hand. And then you contribute this card, then banish one mutant card from your hand or deck, special one monster from your hand or deck based on the banished card, but lose life points equal to that special summon monster's original attack. Monster, Mutant Beast. Spell, Mutant Mist. Trap, Mutant Arsenal. Each effect once per turn. Mutant M-05. Level 2. No attack, 500 defense. Upon normal or special, you can add one mutant monster from deck to hand except itself. And then, okay, I'm pretty much convinced that the Mutant M-05 and ST-46 literally does the same concept on the tribute. So, yeah, Monster, Mutant Beast, Spell, Mutant Mist, Trap, Mutant Arsenal. So, Mutant ST-46. Level 3, 500 attack, no defense. Upon normal or special, you can add one mutant spell trap from your deck to your hand. Okay, so we got free special. If you control a mutant card, spell size trap included. M-05 is the Stratos of mutant monsters, while ST-46 is the Stratos of mutant spell trap. Mutant GB-88, level 4, 500 both ways. During your opponent's main phase, if Mutant Evolution Lab is in your field zone as a quick effect, you can free special from your hand. Upon special summon during your opponent's turn, you contribute this, then banish one card from your hand or face-up field, special one of your level 8 mutant monsters that is banished or in your graveyard, so it's reborn. Nice. Each effect once per turn. Onwards to the bigger mutants. The bigger mutants are level 8, multiple attributes, multiple types. In terms of how to play around, there can be only one. Mutant Beast. Earth Beast, 2400 both ways. And of course, the condition with the level 8s is can't be specialed except with the effect of a mutant card. Simple. And then Mutant Beast is the anti-target of monster effects that your opponent cannot target with. Mist is your anti-target of spells. And then Arsenal is your anti-target of traps. So that way your opponent cannot target the mutant monsters within the respectful card type effects. So in this one for Mutant Beast, when your opponent activates a spell card or effect of a spell as a quick effect, you can banish one card from your hand or field, negate the activation as in never happened, and if you do, banish that card. For Mutant Mist, 2700 attack, 2900 defense. As a wind spellcaster, when your opponent activates a trap card or effect of a trap as a quick effect, you can banish one card from your hand or field, draw two. So pot of greed, say less. Mutant Arsenal, Fire Machine, 3000 attack, 1000 defense. When your opponent activates a monster effect as a quick effect, you can banish one card from your hand or field, then target one monster anywhere on the field, banish it. And then, if for some reason these level 8 mutants are being destroyed because of an opponent's card, Beast lets you target one of your banished mutant traps. Mist lets you target one of your banished mutant monsters. And Arsenal lets you target one of the banished mutant spells. They all get added to their hand. Mutant spell lineup. Mutant fusion. So it's polymerization for mutants basics. If your opponent has activated a card or effect this turn, you can use up to one monster each from your deck and graveyard as fusion material. Hard once on mutant fusion. Mutant blast. Equip spell. Hook it up to a level 8 or higher mutant. So in most cases, it's the fusions and the level 8 main deck monsters. At the start of the damage step, if the equipped monster attacks an opponent's special summon monster, you can banish that opponent's monster. So it's Catastor, but banishes. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can send this banished card, you can banish this card, send the monster this card was equipped to the graveyard, and if you do, special 1 level 8 mutant monster with a different original attribute from your hand or deck. So basically it's tag in, tag out for the level 8 main deck mutants. Hard once on the effect. Mutant Evolution Lab. Field spell. Upon activation, it is a win, by the way. You can special one of your level 4 or lower mutant monsters from your hand, or that is banished. So extension. Hard once on activation. Mutant monsters you control gain 100 attack for each of your banished mutant cards for different names. And then once per turn during your main phase, you can place one mutant monster from your hand on the bottom of the deck, and if you do, draw one. Mutant traps. Mutant cry. Hard once on the activation. During the main phase, it's fusion summoning shtick, but the twist is... let's see. Shuffling the materials listed from graveyard or your face-up banished cards. Mutant expansion. Upon activation, you can take one level 4 or lower mutant monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or special it out. If a level 8 or higher mutant monsters, more than one, you control will be killed by a card effect, you can banish this card you control instead. So saving grace. Hard once on the activation of expansion. Mutant clash. Continuous trap. Upon activation, by the way, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, banish one mutant monster from your graveyard, and if you do, negate its effects until the end of this turn, even if this card leaves. When your level 8 or higher mutant monster kills an opponent's monster by battle, you can draw one. Hard once on the draw one, and hard once on activation. As for the fusions, Mutant Synthesis. Level 9 Water Psychic Fusion, 2500 attack, 2000 defense, and it takes 2 mutants with different attributes to make it. Each effect once per turn. First chance, it is Fusion Shoken. You can target one card anywhere on the field, kill it. When your opponent activates a card or effect as a quick effect, you can activate this. For the rest of this turn, this face-up card is unaffected by the effects of an opponent's cards of the same type, monster, spell, or trap as that card. And then if for some reason this fusion summon card you control gets killed by an opponent's card effect, you can add one of your banished mutant cards, spell/trap included, to your hand. Mutant Ultimus. Level 10 Dark Psychic Fusion, 3500 attack, 3000 defense. That takes 3 level 8 or higher mutant monsters to make them. When a card or effect is activated as a quick effect, you can banish one mutant card from your hand, graveyard, or face-up field of the same type, monster, spell, or trap. negate the activation as it never happened, and if you do, banish that card. Invoke Macabre anyone? And then if for some reason this fusion summon card you control gets killed by an opponent's card, you can add up to 3 of your banished mutant cards, up to 1 each of monster, spell, and trap to the hand. Each effect once per turn. Other than that, that's all mutants. And this next matchup with his hand, Allure Queen line should do. Give my opponent a monster, so that way certain cards can't be triggered. Simplified game state. Opens up to certain cards. And turns off certain cards again. Opens back up. Bestial Lubellion, grabbing Magnamut, Chain Chaos Queen, Hookup Wizard Buster, Etelial Queen 3, Real Normal Black Metal, Branded Regain, and Pass Back. Matriarch, Reborn herself, Disciple, Magnamut, Chaos Queen, the return of Daigusto Phoenix. Rank 2, win Pyra XZ, 1500 attack, 1100 defense. 2 level 2s in general to make it. So generic rank 2, once per turn, detach 1, target 1 face-up wind monster you control, self included. This turn, it's a built-in Cyber Twin Dragon, aka attack twice. Titanocider, Golden Queen, kill off the other unknown blank, which is Dragon's Mind. And then scoop phase for the Bestial player. And this next matchup with his hand, this should be good. Extra net in 2026. Let me just say this again, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't think the people in the back heard me. Extra net in 2026. As a field spell, if a monster's more than one is special summoned from the extra deck, the opponent of the player that conducted this special summon can apply this effect. Draw 1. So what you're saying is, this is max C. Huh. So most cases, I special from extra deck, Opponent draws a card. Opponent specials from extra deck. I draw a card. Interesting. And one set. Blizzard, the extra net. Whoa! Herald of Green Light in 2026. Let me just say this again, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't think the people in the back heard me. Herald of Green Light in 2026. Level 2 Light Fairy, 300 attack, 500 defense. And just like Herald of Orange Light, being monster negate, Herald of Purple Light is the trap negate, while Green Light, to be specific, it is the spell negate. Negate the activation to be specific by sending itself and one other fairy from your hand to the graveyard. Yes, that means I gotta come up with a backup plan. Rio Normal, Matriarch, Last Hope, Kill Off Extra Neck, and depends on what that blank set is, Simplified Game State. Chain Summoning. And one set. Set a blank and pass. Matriarch, reborn herself. Top decks pre-prep for the sake of Devotee. Rebirth. For Devotee, no effect because this is lethal. And last but certainly not least, with his hand, this should be fine. Simplified Game State. Mariamne, Dissipator being Ghost Ogre, kill off Mariamne, kill off the two Nephthys girls, reborn the Defender, courtesy of the Rio Normal Summoned Matriarch, Matriarch into Artemis, Chinook, toss out Borea Storm, does nothing to my Artemis anyways, link into Lina, crash, and it makes it so that I get the Chaos Queen, aka Allure Queen lines. Ticking time bomb, good to go for the assault. Chaos Angel, banish Dissipator, and apparently Chaos Angel sticks to landing, so that means any monster effects that my opponent tries to do, it's going to get swatted aside by Chaos Angel. Second Assault Dragon, banish Black Wing Dragon comes back, get Chinook back, Literal cannot touch Chaos Angel because it was made with a light. Imperm. I think this is where the Blackwing player played it perfectly, except Imperm did not finish resolving the effect. And here's why. Have Imperm finished resolving its effects before doing the detonation effect off from Assault Dragon, I'd actually lose. Because he able to chain the Imperm with Assault's effect, because Imperm did not finish resolving its effect, so as a result, Chaos Angel is still alive, and see ya bye-bye to the whole entire Blackwing board. Except the fact that Full Armor Master also gets killed by battle. And Chaos Angel is still standing. The third Assault Dragon. Chaos Angel over the third Assault Dragon. And pass. Dance. Ash. Soul Charge all queens off from Dance. And that's that for season 49, ladies and gentlemen. Allure Queen Nephthys putting on its peak performance throughout the whole entire season. Once season 50 starts, this is where every single Master Duel deck throughout the whole entire history, every single deck I have in the inventory will have a chance to participate in ranked duels, so that way different decks will have their fair share in terms of doing dailies one by one, in terms of one matchup at a time. So again, this has been a wonderful season 49 with Allure Queen Nephthys. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification bell to keep yourself constantly updated. And I shall catch you guys in the next season.